Da-dun. 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 Oh, crap. Guess what we're doing today, boys? That's right. We're doing a FICM replacement on the old red Ford here. So anyway, mine started going out. Started having some problems, so I found, I got mine from eBay. This guy here has them on there for 200 bucks, 198 bucks, I think is what I got mine for. And he requires a $200 deposit. So the nice thing about, what I liked about this guy was he sent it to me. And so I didn't have to take mine out to send to him to get fixed. He sent me one that's fixed. And I'm going to do a swap and send him my old one back. And then the $200 cord charge that he put on my PayPal I'll get back. Or at least that's the way it's supposed to work. So, but he's got really good reviews and everything, so I'm not too worried about it. So first thing we're going to do is get in here and pull my antifreeze or degas canister, if we want to be technical, out of the way. And oh, by the way, this is not an instructional video. There's plenty of people that know a lot more about me that can do the instructional video, and I already have done the instructional video. So if you're watching this to try to learn how to do this, don't watch this guy, because I'm just making a video about me doing it, just because I got nothing else to talk about today. So here we go, and we get started. Alright, so we got the degas chamber out of the way, and there she is. That's what we got to get into. And from what I've seen is we got two 8mm bolts on the front, and or two 10mm bolts on the front, I think, and two 8s on the back, I think is what I read. And apparently the back ones are a little bit of a pain in the arse to get to. And the other hard part about getting these out is getting the connectors out of the bottom of it, from what I have read. So we're going to dive into this. And oh, for those of you that don't follow me, this is me and this truck. We've been through a lot. I did the you can see there, she's got the old 6.0 bulletproof rebuild done to her. So a couple things I didn't do when I did that. So she got the head gasket and head studs and EGR delete and all that good stuff done. The only things that I didn't do is I didn't do the FICM, and something else that I didn't mess with at that time was the fuel injectors, because everything was working just fine. So I'm sure that's coming up soon, but today we're working on that bad boy there. So let's see how this goes. Alright, so we got the front bracket loose here, and I'm hoping I didn't take the bottom bolt out down there. I'm hoping I can just, there's enough wiggle room, I don't have to take it out. So now we're going to start fighting with them back bolts in. Yeah, this looks like this is going to be one of those feel as you go kind of jobs. So let's see here. You know what? I don't know if I'm going to be able to get on there with a deep well socket. So let's go get my shallow well. Alright, so we got the shallow well, and oh, there she is. I think she's on there. Oh, nope. This is the part where you gotta hide the women and children, because I usually start cussing. Oh, there we go. And the other problem I have when I get in these tight spots, just like when I did my exhaust, I did my own 4-inch cat back, or turbo back exhaust on this thing. I like to drop stuff down there where I can't ever find it. And when I did my exhaust, I dropped the turbo flange bolt, and it went, I heard it go cling, cling, cling down in there. See, it's back there. And I searched and searched and searched for it, and finally found it. It took me an hour to find it, and it was laying right on top of the transmission. I just reached up there and grabbed it. I was like, oh geez. But my truck's eaten a few tools and some parts that it's never given back, at least that I've seen. I'm sure they're laying along the highway somewhere. But go on, come on, son of a biscuit, mother duck. So close. All right, I gotta go. Oh, I got them out of there. So this is what's in the back. This little bracket, and then two 8mm bolts. The front's got two 10mm nuts. So two things that helped me. First one was a taller stool behind me, and I got me a little pad in here because my fat wasn't enough. But what I fought with the most was this coolant line here. This, I don't know, it goes a heater core or something maybe. But it kept on that right hand bolt. It just kept wanting to give me some issues with my little socket wrench there. So, but we got it loose, so now we're ready to try to pull it out and get the little plugs out of the back of that. So I guess that's going to be the next interesting part of this project. Alright, I'll see if I can show you where these plugs are at since I got this loose. But see them there? You got the plugs take loose there. And part about this part is, if you're like me and you're a little OCD-ish and you don't like to get your phalanges dirty, you got to take your gloves off because you really need your feelers to get in there and get them clips loose, because with them gloves on you can't hardly feel what the heck you're doing. So I'm going to get in there. I definitely can't hold a camera and a flashlight at the same time while I do this. Oh, look at that. Got her out. So there's 3 plugs on there, and there's a clip on each side. So you got to kind of get in there and squeeze both sides of that clip and kind of wiggle it back and forth. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be getting them out. Hopefully it's just as easy getting them in. Or I guess I shouldn't say just as easy, but maybe not as bad as putting them in as it was taking them out. The worst part was with the way I was laying across here. Man, I was just squishing the bejesus out of my giblets. Oh, so she's out. Now I'm gonna go walk a couple laps and take a little break before I put it back in, just because it always just seems to make things go a little easier. I think the other thing I'm going to do too, just because of the, I mean, this isn't terrible work. It's taken me, I don't know, 10 minutes to get out of there, if that. But I don't want to get it all put back in there to find out my new one doesn't work right, because my truck will run with my old one. It just won't start. It gets below about 30 degrees, my truck won't start unless it's plugged in. But I'm going to get that one plugged in, and then I'm going to make sure my truck starts and runs before I put everything back together. So anyway, we'll get her all put back in there now. Oh, look at that, we got her all back together. Now, I kind of going to retract the previous statement. I didn't start this thing up before I put it all back together. The reason is it really wasn't too bad. It took me half hour to take it out and put it back in, but I couldn't start the truck with my degas bottle detacher. I was afraid I was going to chooch stuff all over the place, so I figured, you know, it's not that big a deal to move that back out of the way. So I just went ahead and I'm gonna hope for the best, and I put it all back together. Alright, so the next thing I decided I was going to do before I start it is I am going ahead and make sure that I don't have any codes. And I'll go ahead and clear those out just in case, because I know it was throwing a code for, see, I got a bunch of codes there, so let's cancel all them out, and now first I gotta remember how to do it. I know there's a way to clear them. It's been a while since I've messed with this thing. Anyway, I'll get it figured out. Well, maybe it's the next prompt over that says clear codes. So let's select that. Yep, we got turn key in. There we go. But this is the tuner I got when I did the whole bulletproof rebuild on my truck, this SCT tuner. I really like it because I even got the cable to hook my laptop up to my truck, and that's how I figured out my FICM was bad. I didn't even have to pull the cover off and check the pins because I could check the current going through that thing right through my laptop through this tuner. Okay, it's all cleared out. So let's get out of here and unplug this guy. And now let's hope the truck starts. Hey, that's a good sign. So now the ultimate test will be checking to maybe, because it's, where are we at? We're end of February right now. It's supposed to get down to about oh hi, there you are. It's supposed to get down to about like 15-20 degrees tonight, so I think I'm going to put my truck back outside and not plug it in, and it should start right up in the morning now, so I hope. So there we go. So there's the replacement of the FICM. I didn't think it was too bad, and like I said, I'm not a hardcore mechanic by any means. I've changed blinker fluid, I've taken the winter air out of my tire and put summer air in and all that good stuff, changed muffler bearings, all the stuff that Rusty 7.2 taught me how to do. But you know, I know how to get around. I know how to turn wrenches and stuff. I would consider this a fairly easy project. I've pulled engines out of vehicles and put them back in and stuff like that, so I'm fairly mechanical, I would say. Definitely no professional, but I can get it done. So, not a big deal at all. The hardest part, and I didn't drop any bolts or tools, so that's a first. So if anything was accomplished in this video besides fixing my truck, hopefully, I didn't lose any tools and I didn't lose any parts. So that's, I think, a first too. But anyway, there you go. Thanks for watching.